Good morning, everybody. Namaste. We're going to see how this works today. I have moved up to my main house to see if that would help with the internet. And I think what we have decided is that I have two internet connections, one for my studio and one for my house. And they like to battle each other throughout the day. And so for some reason, my my computer likes to pick up the strongest signal. And when it does that, it can shut off my connection or switch over. So I am going to just hope and pray that this works out. And I just want to make sure everyone can hear me. If anybody is on, if you could just let me know. I would think by now my technology would be all set, but it is not. So, today I'd like to talk about the practice that we're going to do and why. And I think the theme really would be about adaptation and being able to adapt. And with society and what's going on today in the world, like it is all about constant adapting, constant change, constant reconfiguring, this constant, in a way, upheaval as new information comes in from a global level, from a local level. We have to be able to just change and to know that that is constant. So the affirmation that I'm trying to live by is change is one of the only constants in life. I can readily adapt to any change that life throws my way. I'm going to read that one more time. Change is one of the only constants in life. I can readily adapt to any change that life throws my way. Just take a breath in. Oh, good. Looks like people are on. Yay. So, the way we can handle and deal with being adaptable is by being more grounding and calming in our practice. And the more grounding and calming we can be, and starting our day that way, you'll probably see cats flying back and forth behind the door. If we could start our day with some grounding practices, with some breath work that really draws the energy down into our root chakra, into our grounding space, the more we can kind of ebb and flow with what change has in store for us. It's when we are really kind of all over the place, when we're overwhelmed, when we are scattered, when we get anxious, it's really hard to root down into our bodies, to center, to connect with the earth. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to really do some grounding practices. We're going to do some standing poses today. We're going to do some breath work that brings that energy down, that takes us out of our headspace and takes us more into our base. So, with the assistance of some cats behind me. So what I'd like you to do is get nice and comfortable. Nice and comfortable. Either on a pillow or a chair. And connect first. Just soften your eyes. I tend to rock a little bit in my practice, and that's more of just something that feels very soothing for me. Um, I've also learned that being still can take many different forms. And for me, stillness might be just a little organic movement that just happens. That helps me kind of tune into my body, tune into my muscles, tune into my bones until I can really find that quiet space. All we're doing right now is just kind of getting out of the chaos of the world, of the day, of the morning. Just tuning in. Maybe you can bring your hands to your knees if you're sitting down. If you're in the chair, you can still do the same. Try to really work on allowing the spine to be straighter without too much efforting. Allow the chin to move towards the spine so it's not forward. It's more rooted into the nervous system, into the central channel, the Sushumna. So I'd like to start with just a 4-part breath. So this is a great way to get into our body. So we're going to be inhaling for 4. We're going to pause for 4, and we're going to exhale for 4. And sometimes people like to have their hand on their belly. Sometimes that's just a nice way to like connect the physical to more of the subtle. Let's see what works for you. And then we'll begin. Let's inhale 1, 2, 3, 4 through the nose. Pause. Just sit at the top of the breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Let's do that again. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhaling. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take a moment and just move your body a little bit. Just slowly kind of allow some little circles, some half circles, just whatever feels good to you. Maybe you want to bring your legs out for a moment. Good. Shake it all about. Just move, see the kitty over there. Good. And then reset your feet. So the opposite foot can come in front. Matter of fact, if this feels okay, see how this feels for you. You can, even this is called like fire stacking, or where you can put your ankle more on top of the knee. Now, if this doesn't feel good, don't do it. Just don't do it. But it kind of activates the IT bands, which for many of us can get tight. So just take a moment here. And what I want you to do is now bring your hands behind you And if you're in the chair, you can do this in the chair. Just have one leg, your foot on the ground, and then bring your ankle over to the knee. And then press the chest up, press the chest up, press the chest up. So as you're pressing that, your hips open a little bit more, and then you can even bring that knee down just slightly. Good. And then slowly come back, switch sides. So you're going to take the opposite leg, place it down as if you were going to sit in um, a nice seated pose. But this is a little bit more refined. So now you're taking the ankle, you're stacking it over the opposite knee. So yeah, and you can see the difference because my knee is definitely up higher than when I'm sitting in the regular seated pose. Bring your hands behind you again. Take a nice inhale. So I want that inhale, I want you to use that inhale to really draw down into the belly. So a nice inhale. Just lift up. Hold the breath for a moment. And then exhale. We're going to do that again. Other side, a little bit more of a flow in the sense of just moving. So opposite ankle on top of the knee. So my left foot is on the top of my right knee. I'm going to bring the hands. So I got my little fingertip action here. I'm going to lift up, inhale. Pause at the top of the breath. Exhale out the mouth. Good. One last one. Bring that right ankle on top of the left knee. You can have the pillow with you or without. Bring your hands behind you. You can probably see Norman. That's Norman, my cat. And then inhale, lift up, let the rib cage come up. Press the hips away from you. And exhale. Good. And just take a moment to shake it all about. If it feels okay to come up onto your knees, this is a great grounding pose. This is hero's pose. And not only is this really good for digestion, but it's just nice to, again, kind of activate and work some other areas. So this is working more of the quadriceps. We're going to take our hands up, straight up, straight up. And then we're going to create a little twisting motion. We're going to exhale and we're going to come down on the side. We're going to inhale, we're going to come back up. We're going to exhale the other side. Just warming up the spine. Inhale. Exhale. I'm going to let my cat in because she's going crazy. Right now. Don't get in the way. Inhale. See, I'm adapting. I'm adapting to the needs of my animals. Good. Inhale, come on up. I hope he doesn't bother us too much. And exhale. Inhale. And then fold forward into child's pose. So child's pose, one of the best grounding poses that we can do for ourselves. Maybe you start the day this way. Just setting your intention, allowing your spine to release after a night's sleep, just kind of stretching it out. Sometimes we get in weird positions when we're sleeping, and just nice to kind of do a little movement in the morning for sure. So again, softening those eyes, the more we can soften our eyes, I feel when we're in poses that don't require balancing, it's just nice. It's like a way to shut off all senses. See how your breath is moving in and out of your body. More we can take slower, more mindful breaths, more we can get out of the ethers and into our body, our energetic body, our subtle body. Then it goes into our physical body. And then slowly work your way up. So stretch out the calves for a minute before we do some standing poses. Take that right foot back, curl the toes, press the heel into the earth. When you do that, I want you to round the spine a bit. So as we're in this right leg is back, see if you can round the spine and then almost like we're doing cat cow. You want to have your eyes open for this one. And then you're going to lift up a little, lift the buttocks a little, the biscuits, and then round. So it's not like you're really working hard to make this shape. It's more just subtle shapes. So you're just rounding, opening up the back body, and then lifting up a little bit. Good. Let's try that other thing on the other side. Take the left leg back. It just feels good to stretch the calves. Nice. And then again, just rounding, tucking everything in just slightly. Exhaling as you come in. Inhaling as you lift up and slightly tilting the biscuits up a little bit. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, lifting up slightly. Moving your head. Let's do that a few more times. And then just as you're doing that, allow like the left side, the left ear to kind of get closer to the left shoulder. And then, so we got a lot going on. Right ear to right shoulder. Good. And then before we get into standing pose, and again, depending on your knees, and if you have a block, which I always encourage you to have like a block, a bolster, a pillow, a strap. It's just nice to already have that by you. So what you could do here is, let's do like a gentle squat. So a gentle squat can look like this. Now, if you're very good at balancing, you could put the block up a little higher. So we could start with a higher block. I think animals energetically know when yoga is going on. Pets in general, they like that. So that feels really nice. Squats is a great way to bring that energy down. If you have constipation or dealing with issues of gassiness, that can happen when we get into this Vata time of year, this Vata season. It's like bringing that apana by you, this wind channel down. Now, if that feels like that's like you could take it down a notch, then do that. Bring your hands to your, kind of more towards your heart. And then you're going to use those elbows to Work the inner thigh. And what's nice about that is if you press in, right? If you can press in a little bit on those thighs, or press out, I should say, you can almost feel the sacrum opening up. So play with that a minute. If you don't have a block, something sturdy, maybe a couple of books, but the books being in a way that doesn't affect the way you're sitting. What I like about this is that you can really ground your feet into the earth. Okay? So let's work with that. Now that we are all settled in, just bringing your palms together, pressing them away, and slowly you can feel the sacrum opening. Feel the sacrum opening. And visualize, if you will, this beautiful color. You can decide on the color, but a fall color, maybe like a dark red or a dark orange. The colors of the leaves that are going to start changing soon. And just really visualize as you are inhaling, visualizing that going down through your body, down through the root, through the block, and into the earth. Bathing the tissues, bathing your circuitry. This is a very gentle calming. It's going to be so calming. You may all fall asleep in Shavasana today, which is what we need. Good. 1 or 2 more breaths here. And then go ahead, release, bring your hands down if you can, and just allowing the legs to come out a little bit more. And just gently rocking from side to side. So again, I really encourage this organic movement. I can't see you, nobody can see you. Feel free to move your body. See where there's tension and tightness in your body and what movement creates the opportunity for you to have space and to stretch the most. That's what's really fun. It's like discovering, okay, here is a really tight area, and if I get to this angle and move it a little bit this way, I really can optimize that stretch. Does that make sense? Good. And let's meet back in the middle. Now, if you have your block or you have your book, you can place your hand on the book. And this is nice since we are moving slowly to build up the heat in our bodies and by not pushing it too much. And then go ahead and bring that right arm up. Good. And then bring that right arm down and bring it forward. It's almost like we're doing a down dog, where we're bringing that right arm forward and then we're pressing the hips back. So if I can do that on the side here, I'll show you. So it's like I have my block, I bring that right arm up. This is another view. And then we bring that right arm out in front of the block and draw the hips back. Let's do the other side. Bring that left arm up, get a nice stretch, open up, twist the body, ground the toes into the earth, bring that left arm forward, further out from the block, draw the feet down to the earth and the hips back away from your body. Just getting that nice, great space. Good. Then come on up. Slowly bring your feet together. Ooh. I'm going to switch the location of my computer to the next level and then shake it out. And while we're here, and then just do some gentle side. Need a cameraman. Good. Just gentle movement. Slower if you need it. Nice. And come back and center back into mountain pose. Again, you can do this seated, or standing. So let's ground that left foot. So we're going to ground the left foot down. So really feel the heel go into the earth, but as you're doing that, lift the toes up for a minute and spread the toes apart and then bring them back down. We're going to do a simple balancing. So the balancing poses are great because it takes us out of our head. So when it takes us out of our head, we don't have the opportunity to focus on the external world. We are really having to concentrate on trying to not fall. So it's hard to think of the outside world and to not fall at the same time. So when you're ready, we're going to shift our weight onto that left leg, and we're going to bring our knee up. And you can grasp your knee if you want, or you can just hold your knee like this with your hands on your hips. And if you want to challenge yourself a little more, you can extend the right leg out. Now you're working more in the core. And then come back. Let's do that one more time. You can bring it out and back. Place it down. Shake it out if you need to. And let's do the other side. So see what feels comfortable for you. Either you can grasp onto your knee or you can hold it through working your core. Ground your right foot. Lift the toes up. Find a gaze on the floor. That's probably 6 feet in front of you. So you have to have that nice point. It's called drishti. When you can have that point, it's a great way to just hone in your focus. Bring that left knee up. Again, you can start this way if that feels better. We can bring your hands to your knees. So this is just preparing us for tree pose. If you fall out, it's okay. Just take your time, ground. We did a lot of grounding work before we got into this. Then you can release if you'd like. Extend the leg out. And bring it back in. Extend the leg out. Bring it back in. And then release. Take a moment. Bring the arms up overhead. Bring your palms together. Allow the thumbs to just brush over your forehead, your nose, your lips. Allow the thumbs to come down to your heart. And then slowly allowing your hands to come all the way down to the floor. You can bend your knees if you want.
You can rock back and forth if you want a little bit, easing the body into stillness. You can use your block if you want. And fold. Inhale, bring your arms up overhead. You're grasping all this great energy from the ground. Allow your palms to touch. Gently bringing the thumb over the forehead, the nose, the lips, down to the heart, and then folding forward. And this time, we're going to bring our feet out a little more than hip width apart, and I'll do it from this angle, and then I'll do it from front angle. Inhale, lift the arms up overhead. We'll work our way into chair pose. So Utkatasana. Chair pose is to grounding the feet. You want to make sure that you're not sticking the tailbone out, that it's just slowly rooting into the earth. Get nice and strong. Hold the pose, drop the shoulders down and away from the ears. Inhale, lift up. And forward fold. Let's do another 2 rounds of that. Inhale, lift up. Bring your hands together for a moment. Up on top, bring the shoulders down. Part the hands, move the shoulders away, and then drop into chair pose. Feel the heels activated, the calves, the quads. All the way back up. Good. Release. Bring the right hand down on the side. Bring the left arm over for a nice side twist. Over to the other side. Over to the other side. And last one. Good. And shake it out. Now let's work our way into tree pose. So we've already got the principles of just doing the chair pose and of doing the knee lifting pose. So now the tree pose should be a little bit easier. Okay. Are you ready? So let's start with that left foot. Let's ground that left foot. So maybe the opposite of you in the video. So you do what side works best, but I'm going to start with the left side. So I'm grounding the energy downward. So grounding it downward, downward, planting roots into the earth, right? It's like you're creating that connection to Mother Earth. And shift the weight over to the side, but you want to keep strong in that pose. You don't want to be sagging. You want to really bring the energy down, not out. Toes are lifted, then planted back down. Your eye gaze is on the floor. You can use your hand. Now perhaps you're only able to, put your foot on the floor, and that's fine. It's perfect. Whatever and wherever you are is great. Maybe you can take it a little bit higher. Just don't place it exactly on the knee. You want to be below the knee or above the knee, just so you don't put any stress. Okay, and you can go up a little higher. I have very slippery pants on today, so I may not be able to keep sliding down. So I'll just stay here. But the idea is you really want to draw the foot into the thigh and the thigh into the foot. Okay? Practice that without slippery pants on. Eye gaze down, foot into inner thigh into foot. And then shake it out. Sometimes it's a good indicator if you're falling a lot. Like the first few times, obviously, you're getting used to it. But if you're really falling a lot, then you need to look at where your focus is. Where is your mind going? Because most times it's still out in the external world. Let's switch sides. And you might find one side's easier than the other. Good. And then just shake the legs out. Bring the arms up overhead. Place the palms together. Forward fold. Nice work, everybody. Way to go. And no glitches. So slowly begin to work your way down onto the mat. I want you to be on your back. Getting ready for Shavasana, corpse pose. You need to take at least a few minutes to do that. So as you're coming down onto the ground, the palms are face up. But if you need to just take another minute or two, just a little bit of movement you want to do, if you want to do another twist, it's nice to have your knees at 90 degrees and then drop them over to one side. Actually, let's do that. So bring your knees to 90 degrees. I'm going to bring this back down. It's really weird watching yourself teach a yoga class. So you can bring your knees to 90 degrees, drop them down to one side, just kind of tap the earth with your knees. And bring them over to the other side and tap the earth. Always one of my favorite ways to end class or begin class or any time. Coming back over, tapping the earth. Back to center. And tapping the earth. And then bring those legs all the way down. Let the heels connect. Let the knees connect. The buttocks. Feel the spine connecting. Softening the shoulders. Let the jaw part.
Change is one of the only constants in life. I can readily adapt to any change that life throws my way. And just knowing that the more grounded and calm you can start your day, the better you prepare your mind, your body, your organs to handle the ebbs and flows, the predictability and the unpredictability that life has in store for us. Slowly begin to bring awareness to your toes. Fingers. You can stay here in this nice little beautiful space. Just get up slowly. I encourage you, if you are feeling drawn to just staying in this quiet space, this grounding energy, then do that. Thank you all Until next time, namaste.